We're here tonight in St Columkille's GAA Club in Swords for the 5th public meeting, where concerned residents are going to hear about Fingal County Council's plans. What have you heard here tonight?
I've heard that people in the general area are absolutely terrorised at the thought of a major sewage treatment plant being landed on their doorsteps, and they're becoming very organised, and it's going to be a major battle for Fingal County Council to put it in place. There's a need for the upgrading of treatment facilities in the area, but the point that's really getting to people is the fact that we seem to be treating the sewage of the whole of Leinster.
The general election, it's all about what this country can do to get out of the state it's in, and one of the main things was, agriculture. And in the North County Dublin here, we have, fantastic businesses and even fantastic potential to expand our agri-business. It was mentioned at the meeting tonight, the business that goes on in the sea, marine agriculture, whatever the correct term is as well. We're potentially putting all that at risk by putting a super sewage facility in the middle of this fantastic resort.
Okay, Mr. Fleming, you live in one of the proposed land parcels. It's not difficult to imagine what your response to the proposal is, and what do you make of tonight's meeting?
Well, I think tonight's meeting was very constructive in the sense that the alternative proposals were put on the table, i.e. that each community would contribute its own facility, its own waste treatment facility, and therefore you have a series of small ones dotted around the Fingal Council area, such that it reduces risk in the event that you have a major failure in any plant. A failure in a small plant is going to be less catastrophic than a failure in a very large plant. And I would not personally be convinced that the council or the authorities have the ability to manage these effectively. We have seen evidence already of a local sewage pipe running between the Rosedale and Swords actually creating an intense smell most of the time. And therefore there's an engineering problem which hasn't even been addressed, even though this issue has been brought to the council's attention. So that fills me with a lack of, or doesn't give me confidence in relation to what the council or whoever is going to undertake this project might do, or might not do, as the case may be.
I'm not personally familiar with Saucerstown. Can you just give us a quick pencil description of the area and how many people live there?
It's a small townland 2 miles west of Swords. It's on the R125, the Ashbourne Road. There'd be a matter of less than 100 people resident in the townland of Saucerstown. We are technically part of Rolestown Parish. Some parts of it would be part of Swords. So we're really Rolestown, where we live at the moment.
And what was the mood at tonight's meeting?
I think there was significant levels of opposition to the plan as mooted by the council at this point. I think there'd be a general acceptance that alternatives need to be looked at, and I think the consensus would be that the meeting would be motivated to push for alternatives with the council authorities.
Deputy Claire Daly, you're the organiser of tonight's meeting. Were you pleased with the turnout?
Well, we organised tonight's meeting to facilitate the beginnings of a campaign in Swords. I think it's our experience that on issues like this in a major town, 3 kilometres seems very far away. The airport is 3 kilometres from Swords, whereas when you're in a rural area, 3 kilometres is nothing. It's only down the road. So I think we've got the ball rolling in this part of Swords, and I think there is a determination now to take it further. So the experience of all the meetings have been is the more rural the area, the stronger the turnout, because I think people have that feeling of solidarity and so on. But really the stage we're at now is all of the major areas surrounding the 9 potential sites have had meetings at this stage. So round 1 is over and it's a case now of getting committees in place to take it to the next stage, and we're very happy that a number of residents enthusiastically step forward to take the campaign forward from a Swords perspective.
The absence of the minister in the constituency, Dr. James Riley, is quite notable. He hasn't been at any of the public meetings. Would you have anything to say to him on that?
I certainly would. I mean, he has some brass neck inviting people. He is a democratically elected TD for this constituency, and he hasn't appeared at a single meeting. And to offer as a sort of a great gesture that people can take time off work, go down, pay for parking and go in and visit him in the city centre, to me is a disgraceful abdication of his role. He should be out at these meetings listening to what people are saying. We had evidence tonight. It's quite clear that the matter has not been raised with his cabinet colleagues. That's a fact. that's his responsibility, and it's just not good enough. And I think there are a lot of people in this area who are beginning to realise that that's the case. We all saw his billboards. We need a minister in this area. The lesson people be taken from that is, well, if you get a minister, you get even worse service than you would from electing a TD. And I hope he gets that message back through his people who are here. I'd say he would.
As an opposition TD, what do you think you can do to help the cause?
We can certainly use, I questioned Howland yesterday on the matter of the Minister in relation to the capital expenditure budget. We can use the platform. Actually, we're quite fortunate that we get quite a lot of speaking time because of the way it's set up, and we've already brought it up in the Dáil, and we'll certainly be doing that. But we very much see the Dáil as a platform to agitate from, to put the government under pressure, and that's what we'll be doing. We've started doing it, but we like to put pressure on the outside as well, and we'll be absolutely doing that too.
Gentlemen, what did you make of tonight's meeting?
Well, I only heard of it through the grapevine. I got a circular on my email, and I came down just to see what was going on because I knew nothing about this proposed plan. The meeting itself was very good, and I'm very happy with the way I was informed and told about the issues. Yep.
Councillor, you're one of the organisers of tonight's meeting. What was the idea behind the meeting?
Well, the idea was to give information to the local community, and we had people from other communities, from the other 8 areas, and we also had a delegation here from Portrane who successfully did away with the idea of the imposition of the monster plant in their area. So we have the main purpose tonight was to set up a local committee from this area to link up with similar committees from all the other 8 areas. So we were successful in doing that. We had no problem getting volunteers to come forward and take on that role. So we now have a kind of a unified approach from the North County, from all the areas in the North County.
Well, there you have it, another public meeting. And now Swords has joined the list of communities who've heard about Fingal County Council's plans and don't seem to like it one little bit.